What's going on, everybody? How's it happening, YouTube? What's going on, F1 fans? Let's go ahead and discuss the German GP, which was a mind-blowing race. You never knew what was going to happen, and the race kept me and my wife on our feet the whole time, from the beginning to the end. So from the beginning, we have Lewis Hamilton on pole, and it looks like, okay, he's probably got this in the bag. He looks strong right out the gate, but then things just start to change dramatically from a lot of pitting problems. So when people would come into pit, I noticed there was problems with tire changing. They thought they needed slicks, and they would leave the intermediates, and it was just all these problems with the teams. I almost feel the drivers were not the problems today. But what I did notice that was mind-blowing was that we saw all the top teams do horrible, and we saw the back of the pack, the teams that struggle the most every year, do so good in such a horrible conditioned race. What does that tell you guys? I took it as, for one, as it's going around online right now, Lewis Hamilton is 100% human. We already knew that. But now we're seeing him at his weakest. That rain race, he should have been a dominant racer, because he is. He's really good in the rain. I'm not that big of a Max Verstappen fan, and I kind of am now. I actually enjoyed watching him drive the entire time. Him winning the race was probably the coolest thing I've seen in a while. I'll be honest, towards the end of the race, no spoilers if you haven't seen it yet, but actually there is a spoiler. We had Lance Stroll running in third place. Third place. Do you know what that means for Lance? That he drove in the worst conditions and gave us his best performance. Was it because the top teams failed? Yes. Yes. But that's the point. Failing is part of racing. And if you fail, you lose out on the championship, just like the lesser teams do all the time. So, for me, my driver of the day is right in between Kvyat and Stroll. A lot of people have their own opinion about Stroll, and that's fine. Have your opinion about Stroll, but Stroll proved today he belongs on the grid. And whether you disagree or agree, that's fine. That's F1. We all have our favorites. I am a major Lewis Hamilton fan, just to throw that out there. I think I've been saying since 2007. I remember telling my girlfriend I was dating at the time, going, this guy is going to be the world champion one day. And I remember her going, okay. And I'd tell other people who were into motorsports, and they'd go, yeah, sure, dude. And he ended up becoming one. So I got to be honest. Seeing him do what he did today, he knew he needed to stay out on his tires. And the team told him no. They wanted him to do a tire change. And look what happened. So Leclerc, that was a horrible crash going into the wall. That was unnecessary. But as we saw Lewis Hamilton go right after him, that turn was not a good turn. Should there be other precautions taken in for next year? Maybe, because they were complaining the entire time about them going over the blue strip. So, that's a little insane. It was funny because driver standing as after the race. Hey, we got a view and we got a follower. Thank you. Okay, so Hamilton is still standing in points with 223, but Verstappen 162. If Verstappen could actually come from the back of the pack, which is third place, I'm going to say, and win a few more races, if not the rest of the races, which is humanly possible because he looks like a very strong driver, then yeah, he could be world champion. But Lewis Hamilton's most likely going to win it. Let's just call it that way. But the McLaren boys, we didn't see that best of driving in the rain. I expected more from them. They seemed very consistent throughout the last couple races, and I thought, you know what? This is a challenge. Let's see. So we now know Norris is not necessarily the strongest in the rain. That's not good for him. But as I'm here on Twitter and I'm looking, I see a lot of awesomeness. I mean, I can't believe what we went through watching that race. From the top teams failing to the lesser teams succeeding. Wow. But I'll be honest, my driver of the day has to be Kvyat for driving a Toro Rosso and taking it to the top. He literally was taking it to the top. He was in second, Stroll in third. If it wasn't for Vettel, that's how the finishing would have been. It would have been those three, Verstappen, Kvyat, Stroll, which would have been the coolest podium. I mean, I was so happy to see Bottas crash out. I was like, I do not want to see this guy on the podium. I just don't. They were promoting that race as their race. And you know what? It was nice to see them not take that win. I love Mercedes. I love you guys very much. But the truth is, we need to see diversity in F1. I liked today's race. I liked seeing the lesser teams in the front. I liked seeing the top teams struggle. It made them humanized. I now know they can be beaten. So, what's your opinion? Go ahead and leave all this in the comments because I want to hear what you guys think. I know your driver of the day was definitely not Kvyat, but for me, I watched somebody. I remember he got fired from Red Bull for one mistake in Russia. Literally, that was the end of his career at the top tier Red Bull team. Like, that ended it right there. And who did they throw in right after that? I believe it was Ricardo. So, there you go. You know, we're seeing humanized in the top teams. I think we started seeing it with Vettel. We saw it clear as day, and now we're seeing it again. So, yeah, my biggest takeaway would be this. Hamilton is definitely human. He can be beaten. Given the circumstances, he can be beaten. Vettel, he can win the world title again. Maybe not this year, but he can. He's a great driver. 20th to second place. That's incredible. Verstappen, he's going to be world champion. Most likely, he could be one next year because we're seeing from when he first came in with all of the mistakes to now, he is consistent. So I can't wait to see more from that kid. And Kvyat, I want to see him back at Red Bull. I hope they take a lesson from today and see that he belongs at Red Bull. So, and then, what's the last takeaway? Kimi. The guy just keeps on being a Kimi. I mean, he gives more and more each race. So, I got to get to F1 2019 because I want to play along with you kids now. I want to play along with all of you because this season has been a weird one. It's not your typical flat line. It's consistently changing, and I like it. I can say F1 is on the track to success right now, given that it's unpredictable. And staying unpredictable is really awesome. Hulkenberg, what a great drive for you from Hulkenberg today. I was going to say to you, Hulkenberg, like he's going to watch us. Hulkenberg, you drove an excellent race. That corner took out everybody, took out the best. So, congratulations on that drive. Yeah. And then another thing I kept talking about in my Twitter live stream commentary that I had, I believe Daniel Ricciardo made a mistake leaving Red Bull. He went to go do his own thing and spread his wings, but now we're seeing him in the worst position we'll ever see him again. I don't think he'll ever walk into this position again. This isn't forever. He will come back from this, but he's not going to be with Renault. He's going to be with a different team when he comes back and he has podiums. So, yeah, I felt really bad for him watching him having to retire. We had over 5 retires. Like, that's insane. That's how bad this was. But you know what? We need more rain races because that's where the best drivers come out of nowhere. We watch the best that in the dry fail and the best in the wet succeed. And those were from all the lesser teams. So, you know, leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you guys think. Did Daniel make a mistake leaving Red Bull? Leave that one down in the comments. Who was your driver of the day? Because mine was Kvyat. Who was yours? And do you think Mercedes dropped the ball We all know they did. But how do you feel about them dropping the ball with Hamilton? Do you think the orders for tire change was right or wrong? We saw that it was wrong. So, but I want to know your opinion, because some people will believe that team orders were more important. All right, guys. That's my take on the German GP, which was a most fantastic race. And I talk a lot of crap on Twitter, constantly tagging all the big networks. You guys did an amazing job today. I was really happy with this entire race. I mean, I'm excited for the next race. So if I'm excited, I can't wait to see everyone else's opinions, because I'm seeing Twitter and people are flooding it with amazing stuff. So matter of fact, you guys, this race inspired me to start making an episode on my channel, which doesn't really have much to do with motorsports. It's more my stuff. Basically for you guys, because I'm so excited now to be part of motorsports again. Like, you got F1 is drawing me back into the sport. So congratulations to everyone in F1 and in motorsports today who helped make the German GP happen, because that was freaking fantastic. And Mother Nature, bring more rain to all the races, because that was freaking awesome. I know the teams are not saying that because they probably spent a lot of money, but hey, it is what it is, my man. All right, guys, have fun. I will catch you at the next race, and we'll do another commentary. Bye, guys.